eggplant. This is a really small piece of chicken. Normally I would do a little bit more, but I am very nauseous today. It's Wednesday, and now that I only have to wait 1 hour, I figure I'll do this and then I can get a snack later. Just got an electrolyte, had a very busy morning, worked on reels, emails, texts. I'm gonna rest a little bit before I have to go to work in a couple hours for my last day, which I'm not gonna talk about yet because I'll cry. So that's the plan. After 1 hour. So this is with 1 hour after each meal. These were 2 hours. And this yesterday started 1 hour, or Monday started 1 hour. We only did 3 because we were in the hospital. Okay, we're in the new car. I'm on my way to my last class. Don't cry, don't cry. Finished. Stayed late just to prep my new teacher, just with everything and helping her learn the dances and stuff like that. So, oh, it's weird. I'm like, oh, I could go back. I definitely taught a lot tonight because she's still learning them. But I think it'll be good. Tried to encourage her of like what to have them do and how to do it and just stuff like that. So told her if she has questions, let me know. But I'm like, it's hard for me to want to stop, but I have a feeling I'll want to because I will be so non-stop with all these extra appointments. So I have to go twice a week for monitoring, even though it is mild, because they want to keep an eye on it. And then I've been testing my blood sugar. I've added in some more carbs, and it's not any higher, so that's great. My number was actually 93 this morning. So like I said, part of me is like, so do I have or not? I don't know. But I'm grateful, and hopefully it stays that way. But even testing after an hour, it's been completely fine. No high numbers. So, all right, I'm gonna go home. Little checkup tomorrow morning. I have my first 20-minute, whatchamacallit. Baby's going crazy. Kyle's calling. I'll talk to you guys soon. Hello. This is take 2 going to the doctor today. It's October the 3rd at 12, almost 12:30. And I still have like 8 minutes before I have to leave. But for some reason, they said they called me over and over. I didn't have any voicemails. I had 1 missed call, and it was when I was already at the doctor's appointment. And the phone was in my hand, so I'm not sure how that happened. And then, normally they send like messages. They didn't send me any messages. And I always get notified through email about those, but they didn't do that. And so I went to my doctor appointment at 9:45 this morning, which was already a little bit stressful because I'm like, oh, really cool how God worked it out, even though I didn't need to be there, because I still needed this done. Kyle had pulled my car in the garage for me, and he pulled the emergency brake up, and I could not get it back down. Like, I was hurting my thumb so bad. And then thankfully someone came by to drop something off, and it took her a couple tries too, but she was able to get it. And so it was like, oh my goodness, thank you. So I showed up just in time, but then had to come home anyway. Unfortunately, my doctor had something come up, and I was under the impression my doctor didn't need to be there for all of these, but the appointments they're making, it says with her, that's what they had told me at the emergency room. And then you can also have your normal appointments. But they're like, yeah, we'll monitor you, but then she'll see at the end. So it's like, oh. So I'm trying to go because I automatically get my heart rate up like naturally, because when I do one thing to another with place, there's smells, there's germs, there's people, kind of sets my body into a fight or fight mode, and I think it makes my heart rate go up. And so I definitely want to make sure that my heart rate is accurate for the mild preeclampsia. I know I'm out of breath now and everything, but it's because I was just go, go, go. And that's why I'm sitting in the car a second to decompress. But it's like 20 minutes they check. Or now I was going to color my hair today, do eyelashes for the weekend, because we might take a couple pictures of Kyle and I for like the last time with the bump. So I wanted to look kind of decent. We'll see if I can do that later, but I'm so pooped now because it's going to take up most of my day, and just exhaustion of going and coming back is a lot for me. I think it's my dad's birthday. We have family coming into town. So that will be like a lot obviously on me too, but it's the last time to like see family before baby comes. And like even like when I think one of my aunts is coming, my grandparents are coming, Jason and Janelle are coming, so it'll be fun to celebrate my dad. I'm excited to give him his gift. It's mainly from baby girl. And then I go right back to the doctor. So that's why I'm not going necessarily back to work. But like I said, I did a lot this morning too, of just sending notes and music, just so my sub is all prepped, even more so than last night. So I'm going to just decompress a little bit, read my daily Bible, say a prayer, and then head out. She's so active. Okay, so it's a little frustrating, and I'm just going to share, and this is nothing against medical systems. It's needed. So please don't get me wrong, but there's some things that I don't love. So it's just a little bit like, so do I actually have GDM? Do I actually have preeclampsia with mild preeclampsia without severe features? So it's just a little frustrating because maybe if it would have gone a little differently, it wouldn't be like this, but it's how it went, so it is like this. Basically, no matter what, if you have a diagnosis, even if it's mild, even if it's without severe features, they have you induced by 37 weeks. And so she was like, how do you feel about that? And I'm like, so let me back up. She's like, it's a little bit of a bummer that your higher numbers were put into the system, because then they checked again and they were fine. So if the nurse would not have put my higher number in the system, they wouldn't have been there. But the MFM saw those higher numbers and saw that it was higher when I got there and was like, we want you to go get checked out. And we're like, okay, you know, we don't know if it's something dangerous. We don't want to just be like, no. So we went down. My numbers were fine because I'd already been there a while and I was wheeled. And I told her, I said, like, you know, when you don't feel good, you walk into a place, your body's kind of in fight or flight. That's kind of how that is for me. So it always takes my body a little bit of time to calm down, and sometimes I get heart palpitations, so it makes sense that my heart rate can be elevated. And so she's like, unfortunately, because it's in the system and now you have this diagnosis, it is what it is. And I think I'm gonna write a couple things down and just I said, like, well, what are my like rights to choosing things, like, because she was telling me. And so I was like, so if everything's looking so good, do I still have to come in twice a week? She's like, yeah, again, with it, you automatically have to go in twice a week. So when it comes to induction though, can I say no? She goes, yeah, you can absolutely say no. The biggest thing, again, with even if it's mild, it's that if it can change. It can change, and then there's dangers. And I get that, but we're monitoring, and baby girl looks great. Once after I'm there, they test again, my blood pressure looks great, and that's when they're monitoring. So I am just really praying, and I ask you to pray too, that she comes when it's time, and the Lord will bring that naturally. And I am planning to push on the induction. Like, that's literally the 25th of October is when I would be induced if I wanted to schedule it today. But everything looks fine. So to me, I just don't feel right about it. And I also know, I know inductions are absolutely necessary at times. So again, please don't get me wrong. I'm just talking about for me. It all feels a little borderline. If I was really diagnosed with this all and it was an issue, that is one thing. But the fact that like even my doctor's saying what she's saying and like, yeah, it's kind of a bummer. It's like, how is that not fair? But it's just like, everything happens for a reason. And if I am supposed to be diagnosed with this, great. But kind of what's same with the GDM, I'm not doing anything differently. So it's like, she goes, well, maybe take your morning sugars later. And I was like, well, I wake up at 6 and I'm hungry and I've fasted the amount of time. Like, I can't help that my body wakes up at 6. And so they're higher at 6. I said, that's what's confusing too. If I was someone that slept in, we would have never known that I have this. But because I'm someone that doesn't sleep in, or the number's higher, and then when I went to the place, the MFM, the specialist, is not concerned about it. And she wants me to eat more, and then if my number really changes, we'll see. But she knew that my after numbers were even low. So, I don't know. It's just a little bit confusing. We want to do what's best for baby. And obviously, after a certain amount of weeks, if preeclampsia is really there, they're really concerned about things, but they also told me the signs. So I'm like, well, if we're monitoring, if something does change, we would do an emergency situation right there. And she's like, yep, absolutely. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to schedule today. So I feel at peace about it. It's just different, and that's where, you know, they have to be careful, and I get it. And please don't get me wrong, I'm only saying this because it's been said to me. It'd be different if they're like, no, you have this, you have this, you have this. I'm going to talk to you guys later. I'm going to take my blood sugar. I just told my mom and Kyle that situation. And I don't know. It's a little bit confusing. And it's like, well, what do you do? I don't know. So we're just going to be praying, and, you know, it is what it is, and we'll be grateful for the extra monitoring, because obviously that can change. And I do have some of the, not symptoms, but I had a reason for them to suggest it. Okay. My blood is not coming out. Oh wow, still worked. Okay, 100, so we're good there. So we will let this go and have a fun weekend coming up.